Welcome back to the Crochet Cradles with our friends at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we have the bean stitch corner to corner. This is a concept by myself. Now I absolutely hate the puff stitch, and so I really kind of wanted these really kind of pillow looking stitches, and the best way to do something like this is to convert it to a bean stitch. And the bean stitch allows you to get your hook out so a lot easier, and you can see that it looks like little pillows. It also feels like that little pillows in your hand. Actually, you know what it feels like? It feels like bubble wrap. So maybe we should have called it bubble wrap stitch. But this is technically the bean stitch, and it is riding nicely in between all of the sections. So when you have transitioning yarn like this, it just looks absolutely just amazing. So we're going to be using today just Caron 1 pound yarn, and I'll use a 5.5mm size I crochet hook. If you want to use any kind of yarn and any kind of hook, just make sure it complements each other. You'll also find that I did a crochet diagram in square format, but I will also cover the rectangle today as well as a simple border. And you can see that there we have the bean stitch, and I gave the instructions. My printer's not doing a great job right now, so you have access to something like this as well. So let's begin, and we are going to start with our yarn, and let's get just in play, and let's see what we get ourselves into today. Okay, let's get ready and go, and let's create a slip knot, and we're going to chain a 6. If you know corner to corner, most of this is what you already know, but the bean stitch is fun. It's new, well, at least for me. So we're going to chain a total of 6. Here's my technique though, so just chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, 5, 6. Right where I had you pinch is the first stitch. So when you're ready, you're gonna double crochet, move your thumb backward to access that one you just pinched, and you're gonna double crochet that one. It saves you having to guess which one is your 4th stitch from the hook. And you were just going to double crochet that one plus the 2 more that are left on the chain. And this is your first one. So I kept the outside boxes as being regular C2C, and everything in between is the bean stitch. We're going to turn to work and begin row number 2. Let's begin row number 2. So the outside boxes are always going to be a flat stitch. It's going to be the regular C2C. So we're going to grow it out. So in order to add a box, we have to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, 5, 6. Right where you have your pinch is your first stitch. So just move your thumb out of the way and just double crochet into that one, plus 2 more. You'll notice in my hand that the box that I was just holding has rotated, and I'm going to get the orientation perfect, but you watch what I do. I'm going to hold this, and see this strand? This should be facing towards you, so flip the box and hold it so that the strand that you started with is towards you, because I'm sitting behind the camera here. And I want to flip this up, and see the space right here? I want to use that and do a slip stitch. Now I do things differently with corner to corner. I like to do an anchor stitch. So how I do that is I'm going to chain 3, and I do this every time it's an outside box. And I'm going to put in 2 double crochets into the same space. It's technically always 3, but I'm going to do an anchor stitch. So the 3rd one that will go into some work here, chain work, and that'll hold it so the last stitch will always stay on the outside, and the other 2 are just floating in the space, and you end up with a flat edge. You're going to turn your work, and we're going to begin the fun stuff with the bean stitch, with everything except for the edging will always stay nice and flat. Just start another one, and we want to get bigger. We're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, 5, 6, and just start in the one that you did the pinch, and continue to make your first box. Okay, so there's a total of 3 stitches that you're putting in, and then you flip it up, make sure that this is towards you. You'll get used to it, and you're going to slip stitch into the space. And now we're going to do the bean stitch. So the bean stitch, you're going to chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. And we are going to bean stitch into this same space. To do the bean stitch, you just go right into this stitch itself, or the space. I notice I didn't wrap anything. This is what the bean stitch is, and I'm going to yarn over, pull through. Say to yourself, that's 1. And now you're going to do the following. You're going to yarn over and going into the same spot and in, and yarn over, pull through. That's 2. Yarn over and into the same spot, pull through. That's 3. Yarn over, same spot, pull through. That's 4. And yarn over, same spot, pull through. That's 5. So you got this big lump of material here. So you're going to pull through everything but the final one on the hook. And because you did the bean stitch, you'll notice that that will just slide through really easily. If it's a puff stitch, that's bad words waiting to happen. Once you have your final 2, yarn over, pull through the 2, and then chain 1. And then therefore that box is done. Beautiful, I know. So you're going to come out to your outside box here, slip stitch it, that'll pull it together. And because it's an outside box, I want you just to treat it as such. So chain up 3 and put 2 double crochet in to the space where you connected with. And then the third one is going to anchor into the chain work. So you can see that the bean stitch is just in the center. Let's turn your work and let's do another row of that. You see it's double-sided too. Okay, so let's begin again. So you want to add more boxes. Say you're not happy with the size of it, you want bigger. So 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, 5, 6, and go to the one you pinched as you're starting, and you're double crocheting that one plus 2 more. Okay, then you're going to fold it up, and now we're going to start the bean stitch because you're no longer on an edge. So that gets more and more beans as you go. This is a yarn pig, I will tell you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so you chain 4. So that's your first double crochet and a chain 1 spot, and then you begin the bean. So remember, you start, you don't wrap it first. So going in, pull through, that's 1, and then start wrapping. So wrap and in, pull through, 2, wrap and in, pull through, 3, wrap and in, pull through, that's 4, wrap and in, pull through, this is 5. You're going to yarn over, pull through everything but the final. Because it's the bean stitch, it should just slide in, then pull through the final 2, and then chain 1. See this space right here? You're going to slip stitch there. And then you're going to do another bean stitch because it's not an edge. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So going in, and 2, and 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through everything but the final, pull through the final 2, and then chain 1. And now we're going to connect it, and the next one is an outside box. So we're just going to keep it as such. So chain 3, and put 2 double crochet in, and double crochet into the anchor to hold it on the outside. Turn your work. And let's begin another row. So you're going to keep on going as big as you need to go. So chain up 6. So 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, 5, 6 will allow you to grow as big as you want to go. With the right yarn and the right idea that you have, this stitch is amazing. So chain up 4, and then you're going to bean stitch in. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through everything but the final, pull through the 2, and then chain 1, and then just kind of fold it on up and lock it with a slip stitch that'll hold it together, and then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and another bean stitch so I don't wrap first. If you wrap first, it becomes a puff stitch, and it's really hard to get the stitches out, the hook through it, it's a real pain. So I don't want to go through everything, keep the last one on, pull through the 2, chain 1. And you keep doing that again. So I want another puff, or sorry, I want another bean stitch. I have puff stitch in my head now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull through the 2 and then chain 1. And now you're going to end up with the corner, or sorry, with an edge. So chain up 3, 2 double crochet in, and then anchor the last one in. So you're just going to go as big as you need to go, and you can feel how thick that is. And so I'm going to show you how to decrease as a square, and then if you use the video chapters or the video information, there's time markers on how to make it a rectangle if you want to do that, and then I'll show you a simple border at the end. So let's just say you're happy with it being square. You'll have the same amount of boxes on both sides because you've been growing it out evenly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to do a square, both sides have to decrease at the same time, which is what I'm about to show you. So let's begin. We're going to slip stitch across the tops. Because it's your first time doing it, you're only going to slip on the first 2 double crochets because that's all there is. And then I want you to slip right into an anchor spot of the chain. Don't go into a space because it makes it miss a line, and you're going to go right to the chain work itself. Now, it's an outside box, so you're just going to chain up 3 and double crochet into the same space 3 times. So we want it to stay flat. Then you're just going to come up here and slip stitch in. You can see that it just turned the corner. And now you can start with your beans again. So just chain 4 and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull through 2 and then chain 1. And then connect it. So what I'm looking for is when I'm actually at the other edge, and I'm not there yet, so I have a bit to go, and yours will probably be much bigger than this. If you wrap that hook first and then going in, you can do it, but that turns it to a puff stitch, and as I mentioned, it's kind of tough to get that hook out. Okay, so chain up 1, and so I'm connecting. And so my next box is the last box. I want it to be flat, so I'm only going to chain 3. And then in the same spot, put in 3 double crochet. So my anchor spot will be in this chain in this chain space up here. And that'll hold that to be on the outside. I always like to make sure I grab 2 strands of the chain itself, but not a space. And so therefore you can turn it around. And you can see we now just officially turned on both, and we're now getting narrower. So every time that you decrease, you're eliminating 1 box out, if that helps you to know. To start another decrease row, you just slip stitch across the tops. So there's technically 4 times that you're doing that because there's now 3 double crochet and also the anchor spot here to hold it. I want to keep the outside box flat, so just chain up 3 and then double crochet 3 times into the space. Attach it, and because the next one is not an outside box, I want to make it as a bean stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, can you do it just like wrapping it only 4 times instead of 5? Absolutely. Can you do 3? Yes, absolutely you can. So it's the less you wrap it, the less dense it will be though. But you have to decide what you're going to enjoy for yourself. This is an outside box that's coming up, so I have to chain up 3 and apply 3 more double crochet in there to finish that box off. And then anchor it to the chain. And then turn your work. So you will notice that this box here and this box will be on the outside. So when we go to start this row, we're no longer doing bean stitches at all. So the last 2 rows will never have a bean stitch in them. because they're going to be outside boxes. So chain up 3. And place in 3 double crochet in. Attach it, and this is an outside box as well. So you chain 3 and put 3 double crochet in. Okay, turn your work. And then you're going to begin again. And you're going to do your last box. Okay, chain up 3. So you will notice that where your yarn ends, you're technically not on the corner, even though you're doing the corner box. So once you get your 3 in there, you attach it to your anchor, and you can see that when you finish, you're technically not on the very corner like you were when you started, which is fine. So if you did not want to fasten off this yarn, this is a double-sided pattern, so you will see the bean stitch on both sides. You may like one side better than the other, who knows? But if you don't want to fasten off your yarn and you want to keep on going, just turn it to the back side and just slip stitch yourself to the anchor spot of the chain, and that'll be your first corner. So you can start anything that you need to at that spot. And what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to show you what it's going to be like for a rectangle if you want to make it rectangle, and that's coming up next. So let's say you wanted a rectangle. So what's happened now is that you have 5 boxes on one side, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in a rectangle, what's going to happen is that the width will no longer change, but the length will. And so the number of boxes across will never change as well, because you're going to work. So when you're doing this side, because I'm going to start you with the decrease side, you're always going to decrease and then increase, and when you go back across, you're going to increase and then decrease on the other side. So there's always 2 rows that make up the final conclusion for doing rectangles until that you come to the end, and then both sides are going to decrease at the same time. To begin this process, you're going to slip stitch yourself across the tops of the 2 double crochets that you'll have, because it's your first time decreasing. And be easy going with your slip stitching. If you're too tight, it's too much. Make sure you go into an anchor spot and not to a space, and that will hold your stitch out to the edge. So now you're going to chain 3, because you're not going to build any more boxes on this side of your work, and you're going to put in 3 double crochets there. So you only chain 6 when you're increasing, and you only chain 3 when you're decreasing. You are going to attach, and then because it's no longer an edge, you can start your bean stitches from this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then you keep on going and adding more and more beans as you go. So the only thing I'm really, 1, 2, 3, the only thing I'm really kind of paying attention to is to make sure that behind my hands that I'm not actually doing an outside box. I accidentally did that during one of the sample work, and then I had a frog back because I realized the edge actually had a bean stitch in it when I wanted it to be flat. So I want to make this side longer. So I'm going to continue to add my bean stitches in. Okay, and so because I want it longer in the length, I'm going to continue, and I'm adding another box here. So chain 3, putting in 2 double crochet to start, and then the third one is in an anchor spot. So even though you've decreased on this side here, you've increased here, so it's going to grow in the length. Let's turn your work and let's do the next row, because this time you're on an increased side and you're going to end up on a decrease next. So this side here, because you're on the increase and you want to make it bigger, deciding that you do, is that you're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, still pinch, 4, 5, 6. And you're just going to make that flat box. Okay, and then coming in and attaching it, and then you can start your beans. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bean in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then attach, and then you keep adding your beans. I have this habit, I want to wrap that when I go in for the first time, so you got to just get that out of your head. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm paying attention to this side because this side is my decreasing side. So I don't want to add any additional boxes. So this is my last box. So I'm just going to chain 3 and put 3 double crochet in. Turn your work. And so what's going to happen is that you can start again. So this is your decrease side, this is your increase side, and then you can come back and increase and then decrease, and it will keep on building it out. So I'm going to now show you what it's going to be like when you get to the total length that you want. So let's just slip stitch ourselves to the anchor spot. And so we want to do a decrease on both sides now so that we end up in the very corner. And so we're going to head in this direction next. So let's get ready to decrease on both sides. So I'm going to decrease here, and right here will be my last box, so I no longer want to do an increase. So to do that, you're going to chain 3 and then keep this flat, so 3 double crochet first. So every time you start decreasing, you'll be decreasing by 1 box for every row. If that helps you to know that. So then we attach, and now we can add the bean stitch in because we're no longer on an edge. And we're going to bean. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once you get in the rhythm of the stitch, it goes pretty quick. So I'm going to bean again because I'm not on an edge. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we attach, and now this one is going to be our last box, so we just chain up 3 and put 3 double crochet in. And attach it to the top of the anchor spot. Turn your work, and you can see your rectangle is now just turned here, and now it'll get more and more narrow. Let's continue. To continue to get more narrow, you're just going to slip stitch yourself to the anchor spot of the chain. So there's going to be 4 stitches away. So it's the 3 doubles and the anchor spot. So that's your 4th. And so we chain up 3 and put 3 double crochet in. And so therefore that box will be flat on the outside. And we attach. And the next one is not in an edge, so it can be a bean stitch. Okay, you'll find that you'll get pretty quick with this. So it's a bit of a yarn pig, but it goes pretty quick. So then the next one is an outside box, so we just chain up 3 and put in 3 double crochets there, and you're going to anchor it with a slip stitch. Turn, and now you got the last 2 rows. And what's the thing about the last 2 rows? They're both going to be on the corner, on the edges, so there's no longer the bean stitch, and you can kind of see that the bean stitch is made up of the configuration of 3. So if you added another bean stitch, it wouldn't make sense. Let's do that next. So to finish the final 2 rows, there's no more bean stitching. It's just the regular C2C as you know it to be, assuming that you've done C2C before. You can leave me a comment if you've done C2C before in your life. And so you're going to start chaining 3, put 3 double crochet in. Attach, chain 3, and 3 double crochet in. Okay, and so there's that one. You're going to turn your work and you have your very last box that has to be filled in. So what are you going to do? You're going to slip stitch yourself right to the anchor spot. Okay, and then chain up 3, and then put 3 double crochets into the space. And then just attach to the anchor spot, and therefore it would all be completely done. So you're noticing that you never technically finish on a corner. So if you didn't want to change out this yarn and you just want to keep it going, then what you can just do is flip it over and just slip stitch yourself to the anchor spot. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And therefore you can start here. It is a double-sided pattern, so you can pretty much start there. And I'm going to show you a quick little border. And if you are fastening off yarn and you want to do something new, you'll still go to the same anchor spot, and that's where you start. Let's begin a simple little border. To do a simple little border, right where you're sitting, even if you attach new yarn there, you're going to chain up 1, and you'll single crochet there, chain 3, and single crochet into the same spot. So your corners will be 1 single crochet, chain 3, 1 single crochet into the same. So now you're going to chain 3, and you'll see the boxes. If you just pull it apart, you can see between them, and you're just going to single crochet right between the boxes, and then chain 3 and jump to the next space between. And this helps you get a really nice border starting, so you can use this as a starting point to add more to your border if you wanted to. You keep doing this across. So on this corner here, just go into a corner. Okay, don't go into a floating spot at all. Anchor it in, and then chain 3, and then into the same spot again, and then turn your work, and then chain 3, and then just jump in between the spots, or basically in between the boxes going across. And you'll do this all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of the round in just a moment. So carrying on around, I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm just going to slip stitch it to the first single crochet. Now if you wanted to add more to this border, you can just slip stitch into the chain 3 space, chain up 3 and put 2 more double crochets in there, chain 1 and then put 3 more double crochets. So each one of the corners in the next round could be 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. Each one of these chain 3 spaces, if you put in 3 double crochets in each, it'll work out and have a nice balance, and then you'll do your corners, and you can do that. And you can continue to add more to your border, and you will see that these will float. This whole panel will float on the inside with whatever you're working on, and I think it's a superb idea. So this is it today, the bean stitch crochet corner to corner, and we hope that you enjoy, and we'll hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.